Hi you guys, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. I'm sorry it has been so long since I've been on here. I just decided to take a break, and so I'm back now trying to get a couple of fall themed journals finished, and I'm working on the cover, and I thought I would show you guys how I'm making it because I figure maybe somebody might ask. And so I thought I would show you before I put it all together. So I have my signatures, not completely ready to go, but you know, at the point where I need to make the cover. And this is going to be probably about a 2-inch spine. Well, it is because I've made it. I'm trying not to go too big with it. Let me show you what I've done for my layers. This measurement, to start with, let's see here. I've got little piles, so hopefully I can find my ruler. Okay, so it's 8.5 by, you know, it's 5.5 when it's folded, but as you add things, it gets a little fatter, you know, at the center. So a little bit more than 5.5, but not 5 3/4. So then here, I've made the panels 8 3/4. And what you need, and then this is 6 inches. The reason why I did 6 inches is because I just really love to add ruffles and things like that. So when it's closed, if I didn't leave myself a little bit of space to add, then it would have been too thick, I think. I think it would have been. So again, it's 8 3/4 by 6. Yeah. You need 2 of those, and then this is 8 3/4 by 2, but that would be depending on the thickness of your journal. And then this here is 4 inches, and that's just going to be preference. So when it's closed, I wanted to be able to see some of this, but you could do less. It could be, you know, just a couple of inches. So then I took a piece of, I just have some scrap, you know, it's just white fabric. And I glued, these are file folder, by the way. I glued these to the white fabric, and I made it just slightly bigger. I don't know if you can see here, but there's just a little bit of a hang off on either side, all the way around. So that's just up to you. And I glued the file folder to it. And then I sat last night and tore pieces of fabric and just laid it, you know, till I got my pattern. And once I got my pattern, I raised the edges and I put a little bit of Fabri-Tac just right in the center part. And where the places were overlapping, I tried not to get any glue where I needed to be able to sew underneath. Every single one of these things is sewn individually. It took me about an hour. So, oh, you guys, I forgot. It's the white, and then it's like that really, I don't know, like 1/4 inch batting. Yeah, batting, quilt batting. Sorry about that. So it's the white fabric, some batting, and then I started laying my fabric pieces on top. And I just put the glue kind of right in the center part of them so that they stayed in place. And then I went and sewed. So you have to find the one that you do first. Nothing is, like this one is not on top of anything. It's all being overlapped. So I moved all the pieces out of the way because they were sewn, I mean glued. And I sewed around it, and then I looked for the next one. The next one would have been this one. So I moved this out of the way and this out of the way, and I sewed all the way around this one. I kept going the whole way. And then on the ones that were totally on top, so this one, and this one, I added a little decorative stitch. I wish I had a little bit darker brown thread, but I don't, so I just use what I have. So then that is what you see over here on this side. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so what I am doing next, or what I did next, this time I used some, what is it called? Muslin. And then on top of that, I put this fabric. And again, I tore mine. You can cut, but I tore mine. I glued these together lightly with Fabri-Tac. I just kind of took the Fabri-Tac and went back and forth with it. The whole thing. I did it in sections though, and then made sure it was down really well. And then I had to figure out where my pockets went. My pockets aren't done yet. They're just sewn down just to keep them there, but I still have to decorate them. So you can't see really where your folds are. So I would place it down and kind of lift to see. And so hopefully it's kind of centered within my front cover of the journal. And then I did the same for this one over here. The thing that I plan to do next, I think, because, you know, this is all a process and I'm just figuring it out as I go. But I think what I need to do next is put this should all like not hang extra like that once I get it attached. I hope it doesn't hang with a whole bunch of extra. I need to do the ties. So I am going to be putting a tie here and I think here on the spine. And so I need to do that before I put it all together so I can sew it. And so I think my tie would be, we'll just pretend. I don't have it out yet. I'm not even sure what I'm going to make it out of. But so there would be one here and then one here. So I would tie them together right here. I believe that's what I'm going to do next, but I have to figure out what I'm going to tie it with. And then after I get my ties on, I'm going to glue this down. And then, well, I think I'm going to sew these together. I think it needs a stitch all the way around. And then I'm going to glue it down. And I might take it and stitch it down these. I might take my sewing machine and just stitch right there just to hold it in where those lines are. That's my plan. I don't have a complete one yet, even though I am making 2 different journals. I have another one here. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to stop it there. Hopefully I can remember how to put 2 videos together to make one. My daughter showed me that, but I haven't made a video in, I don't even know how many months. So hopefully I can figure that out. See you in a minute. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys, I went ahead and I decided to do some lace. This was a tablecloth, and if you pull, it's not stretchy, so it actually makes a really good tie. I hot glued it here, and I've never had one come off. And then this one I stitched, and that's why I didn't want to put this on yet, is because I wanted to be able to stitch and not have the stitching show through this. And then I stitched all the way around the top with a zigzag, all the way around. And I am going to glue it down now. And then I'm afraid I'm going to have to go to the store, because I do want to run a line where stitch a line where these are. I just feel like it'll keep this fabric in place better. Even though I'm gluing it I don't want it to be loose anywhere. But you can't see where your line is, you know, when you're sewing. And as I'm talking, I'm going to get this straightened up. So you kind of have to flip back and forth so that hopefully it kind of has the same amount of hangover on either side, all of the sides. You know, you can make a line on fabric with those little fabric pencils, and some of them wash out, but some of them, I'm pretty sure they have one that just kind of rubs off. I don't have either. I thought I did, but I can't find it. So I'm going to have to run to the store. I don't want to have to do that. Okay, I think I'm in a good spot. So I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm just going to start gluing. And it's probably going to take a little bit of glue. I have some Joann fabric coupons, so I figured I might as well use it to go and get myself some glue because I'm getting low on my Fabri-Tac. And then also try and find one of those pencils. I think they exist. I'm feeling very out of breath. I'm so not used to doing these videos. And so, I don't know. I feel like I need to take a break and catch my breath. So what have I been up to? The summer was just, so much was happening, you guys, and going on in the family that I just couldn't focus on crafting. I tried a couple of times and I could not bring myself to do it. And so I thought, you know, I'm just not gonna. I started a couple of projects, made a couple of videos, and deleted them because I knew I wasn't gonna finish the projects. I mean, someday, hopefully, I finish them, but, you know, not right now. And I just decided to take a break until I was ready. I wasn't going to force it, and I'm afraid that's what I, you know, kind of had been doing. So what did I do instead? I did a lot of yard work, and there were just so many things going on this summer. My son had moved back in, but he was going to be joining the military, and the whole not knowing when he was going to be leaving for basic, and I don't know. It was like starting a project and having to leave a project. It was too much for me to think about, honestly, and so I just stopped altogether. And then also, my daughter was going to be, you know, leaving for college. And that was awfully hard for me to be wrapping my head around. And so yeah, I just stopped and decided not to stress about it. And I had been stressing about making my videos. I don't know if you watched some of the last ones I did. I said that I was having dreams that were, I don't know, they were like chaotic dreams, and I think it was because of worrying about videos and trying to fit everything in. And you know, my dreams stopped. Those dreams stopped when I quit making the videos. So yeah, I think it was just so many of the changes going on. It was stressing me out. So there we go. So my son is happily enlisted, and everything, you know, when we talked to him, he says everything is going great. We traveled to his graduation in September. Oh my goodness, you guys, it was so doggone hot. I've been to Texas lots of times, and every time I go, I just think, I don't know how you guys do it. The people who live there, I don't know, but I've never lived anywhere that hot for that length of time, you know, so I guess you just get used to it. I mean, it gets really hot. So when we were down there, it was 105, but it was so humid. And we went to visit my husband's daughter. Oh, I'm a grandma. So, so we went to visit the new baby, and it was 110 where she is. 105 and 110 feel totally different with the differences in humidity. I was miserable with the 105 and like, I don't know what the percentage of humidity was, but it was a lot. But 110 in Wichita Falls, I was like, this is fine. I can handle it. Even though Wichita Falls gets humid also. My husband grew up there and he said he hated the humidity. But I guess maybe it's not as bad as it was down in San Antonio. Anyway, yeah, so we did that. And it was great seeing my son after a couple of months. It was so hard, you guys. Oh my goodness. I just had no idea what it was going to be like to have my kid go off and do that. And the graduation ceremony, I had never been to one before. The pride that those makes me, oh, I'm about to cry, that those young men have, and women, I should have not said that, young men and women, and some of them not so young. Was surprised. There were some old people that were also going through basic. They had such pride in themselves, and it was a very emotional and really great ceremony. They did a wonderful job. They do it all the time, so I'm you know, they figured it out. Okay, I'm nowhere near finished, but let's see how this looks now. So all the little extra bits that were hanging out, you know how it was kind of overhanging, that's not happening anymore. So let's just go ahead and tie it closed real quick. I'm not going to do a fabulous bow. I'm just going to get it closed. And then I'm going to go to the store because I need to. I want to make those seams down those folds. And we'll just go from there when I get back and finish talking about some of the things that I did this summer, maybe if there's an opportunity. So there is that, and I will be covering this most likely with something. I don't know what. I might add another thing of fabric right there. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll find out. But there is a start. I'll be back. Okay, it's a couple of days later and I'm still not finished. I spent almost the entire day yesterday adding ruffles and things like that to the sides of the pages in this journal. I'm not finished with the front. I think I'm going to add something. I don't know. I think I'm going to add something to the front and we'll see. So I just wanted to show you how I finished it off. I think I showed you this because of, again, it's been a couple of days. So I sewed the signatures in. I am going to be adding something to cover the threads. Let me just grab real quick. I think that I'm going to be adding, not that that's terrible. I don't think it's terrible, but I think I'm going to be adding this to the edge to cover the threads or something like it. I might have a thicker one. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is how it looks at this point, all closed up. And then I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the inside. And so no flip through, because I'm not finished. So I have a pocket here, and I did end up sewing right here. So if all of you guys are wondering if I found what I was looking for, I talked about the thinking that you could, you know, use a pencil that rubbed off, you know, the sewing pencils. I went to Joann Fabric. I also needed to get more Fabri-Tac. I had a coupon. So guess what I got? I got the Fabri-Tac and then I left. You guys, I didn't even look for the pencil. Oh, and I live about 25 minutes from Joann Fabric. I was not going back. And so what I did was I took a piece of painter's tape and I found the edge and I just put it down on the fabric and I sewed right next to the tape. So I did that there, 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 and there. And now the fabric is nice and taut. There's no kind of like buckling of the fabric as everything bends. So same on the back as on the front. I'm not finished with it once again, and there aren't any tags or anything in there. I just wanted to show you how it turned out. And I this is what I spent like really hours yesterday adding all of these things. So that took forever, and it really thickened it up. But it's still good because it's fabric mostly, and so it closes very easily. The second one I have put together, and I'm ready to add the tab type things on the side. That one is under my pile here, and I did a little bit different closure on that one. I have this that I found, I don't know where, Michael's or Hobby Lobby last fall maybe. So these ones, this one is going to be tied with this, but it's, you know, mostly the same fabrics. If I did or didn't show you this one, I'm not sure. And the inside looks like this so far, and I went ahead and did the sewing on this one as well. All right, you guys, my first video back in a while, so I hope it wasn't too discombobulated for you. And then hopefully I'll be back with a flip through of the journals soon. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.